Next, for question 11. Frisk borrowed 70,000 pesos to Muffet and they agreed on a 3.8% interest. After some time, they paid her back with a total of 84,630 pesos. How many years did Frisk borrow the money? So yung problem na ito involves the concept of simple interest. Ano nga ba yung simple interest? Di ba kapag nangutang tayo or nanghiram tayo ng pera, usually, kapag ibabalik na natin siya, mas malaki dapat yung ibabalik natin para maging fair naman. Katulad ng nangyari dito. Nangutang daw si Frisk ng 70,000 pesos pero ang ibabalik niya, yan 84,000 pesos na. So ano ba yung formula na gagamitin natin for this? Yung formula na yon is future is equal to present times 1 plus NI. Ayan. This is the formula of simple interest. Ano nga ba yung mga variables dito? Simula tayo sa P. P is yung initial na inutang nyo, meaning yung present value. Next is yung F or future value. Ito na yung mas malaking amount dahil sa interest. I, of course, means interest and then N is yung number of years na hiniram nyo yung pera. So, pwede nating i-plug in diretso agad yung mga given at i-calculator na lang siya. So, una, future value would be 84,630 is equal to yung present value na 70,000 times 1 plus yung N is unknown. Diba? Ito nga yung tinatanong sa problem. How many years did Frisk borrow the money? So, N times yung interest na yon 3.8%. Now, yung 3.8% na yan, syempre, from percent, gagawin nating decimal. Ano ba yon in decimal form? 0.038. Ayan. So, ito na yung buong formula natin. Now, kung mapapansin nyo, yan o, hindi siya madaling gawin manually. 'Di ba? Dito gagamit tayo ng calculator, pero ang importante lang naman sa video na ito is matutunan nyo yung step-by-step process and yung formula na gagamitin for simple interest. Sa PUP set, bawal yung calculator, pero siguro hindi naman sila magbibigay ng ganitong figures. Siguro mas simple dito yung ibibigay sa PUP set, yung kayang isolve manually. Pero yan, for the sake of this video, gamitan natin ng calculator. So this is 84,630 is equal to 70,000 times 1 plus x times 0.038. Shift solve natin and we have 5.5 years. So ito yung sagot natin for number 11. Sa 12 naman, Girl B saved 100,000 pesos in a bank that has an interest rate of 5% per annum. How much money will he have in 5 years if the amount earned from interest is deposited with the original amount? So, ito naman, based sa wording natin, the amount earned from interest is deposited with the original amount. This is what we call compounded interest. In other words, yung interest na na-earn nyo per year would also be earning interest. So, iba naman yung formula natin dyan. Diba ang formula natin for simple interest is ito? For compound interest, ito siya. Future is equal to present times 1 plus I raised to N. So, yun. Exponential na yung effect ng time. Pero pwede pa rin naman nating i-plug in lahat ng given. Madali pa rin naman yung problem na ito. So, let's try. Future value, yun yung tinatanong. How much money will he have kasi? So, future value yung unknown is equal to yung present value. Ito yung 100,000 na dineposit niya. 100,000 times 1 plus aning interest rate? 5% per annum. So, this is 0.05 in decimal form. Tapos, yung time naman, kung gaano katagal niya dineposit yung pera, this is 5 years. So, ito yung ilalagay natin sa exponent. And so, yun. Pwede natin siyang i-compute. Again, this is also very tedious kung gagawin natin manually kasi ito, 1.05 raised to the fifth. Yan, ilang beses nyo imumultiply yung 1.05 sa sarili niya. So, gamitan na lang natin ng calculator para makasave tayo ng oras. Kaya pwede nyong i-practice ito sa bahay kung gusto nyo. Pero, yan, ang importante lang naman dito is to know the steps. 100,000 times 1.05 raised to the fifth. This is 127,628. Next, Birdley wants to mix a 5% alcohol solution with a 10% alcohol solution to make an 8% solution. If there are 3 liters of the 10% solution, how many liters of the 5% solution does he need to get an 8% solution? So, mukhang complicated pero simpleng mixture problem lang ito. Again, anong gagawin natin for mixture problems? We draw boxes. Yan. Ano daw yung nakasabi? He wants to mix a 5% alcohol solution. So, una, yan, meron tayong 5% with a 10% alcohol solution. I-mix daw niya, so i-plus natin to make an 8% alcohol solution. So, yan yung tatlong boxes natin. Binigyan din tayo ng 3 liters of the 10% solution. Okay? Yung 10% daw ay may 3 liters. So, how many liters of the 5% solution does he need to get an 8% solution? Unknown yung amount ng 5% solution, so ito yung i-assign natin as x. And so, yung final solution natin, i-add lang din natin ito. This is x plus 3. Last step para sa mixture problems is i-multiply natin silang lahat. So, this would be 5% times x, or in decimal form, 0.05x plus 10% ng 3. This is just 0.3. Is equal to 8% or 0.08 ng x plus 3. Yan. So, I think pwede naman itong isolve manually. So, gawin natin 0.08 x plus, 0.08 times 3. This is just 8 times 3 or 0.24. 0.05x plus 0.3 is equal to that. And so, i-transpose natin. Transpose natin yung term na to dyan at yung term na ito dito. Meron tayong 0.3 minus 0.24. This is 0.06. At para naman sa right-hand side, meron tayong 0.08 minus 0.05x or this is 0.03x. Yan. Pwede nating i-divide both sides by 0.03. Ano yung end result? This is 6/3 or 2 liters. Next, Toriel decided to invest in a savings account at Bank MTT that offers an annual interest rate of 6%. She deposited 14,300 into the account and the interest is computed monthly. How much money will Toriel have in the account after 4 years? So again, this is a compounded interest problem. Pero, meron tayong twist. Yung compounding niya ay monthly. Ibig sabihin, nag-earn siya interest monthly at yung interest na yon ay nag-earn din ng interest monthly. Ganun lang yon. So, ganito pa rin yung gagamitin nating formula. Meron lang tayong konting modification. Okay, ano ulit yung formula na yon? This is F is equal to P times 1 plus I raised to N. Okay, now, paano natin i-modify yung formula kapag compounded monthly? Ang gagawin lang natin ay yung I i-divide natin by 12. Kasi meron tayong 12 months sa isang taon. At yung N i-multiply din natin ng 12. So, yun yung effect ng pagiging compounded monthly. Kumbaga, ang ginawa lang natin, yung interest, dinivide natin ng 12 kasi nga, di ba, hati yung interest sa 12 months ng isang taon. Pero, in-amplify naman natin yung effect niya by multiplying yung year by 12 months din. So, ito na yung bagong formula na gagamitin natin. And, yan na, take note. Kapag ang sinabi ay compounded quarterly, yung ilalagay natin dito ay over 4 at times 4. Kapag naman sinabi na compounded 2 times a year, yan, ito naman ay 2 at 2. Pero again, compounded monthly yung problem, so 12 yung ilalagay natin dyan. And so again, to save time, gagamit na ulit tayo ng calculator. Kasi tingnan nyo yung mga answers, very decimal heavy. So, sayang sa oras kapag gagawin nyo siya manually. So, using the calculator, yung future value, yung i-compute natin. Kasi 'di ba, how much money will Toriel have? Future value yung tinatanong. Ang initial value niya or yung present value is 14,300 times 1 plus, ano yung interest rate? This is 6%. So, 0.06 over 12 raised to, ilang years yan? 4 years times 12 months per year. Meron tayong 18,167. Nasaan yun? Here. Okay, next. A shuttle travels at a speed of 3 miles per second. How far would it have traveled at constant speed if the rocket was traveling for 1 hour? Okay, so this is a motion problem kung saan ang formula na gagamitin natin ay distance is equal to velocity times time. Ang tinatanong sa atin ay distance, di ba? How far daw would it have traveled? So, distance ang tinatanong at makukuha natin yung distance by multiplying velocity at time. Ano ba ang velocity? Velocity niya ay 3 miles per second daw. So, alam na natin, 3. Lagyan din natin ng units. 3 miles per second. At, ano naman yung time? The rocket was traveling for 1 hour. So, may problem tayo. Hindi consistent yung units na binigay ng problem. Ito, 3 miles per second, naka-second siya. Yung time naman natin ay binigay in hours. So, paano yun? Kailangan muna natin i-convert yung hours into seconds para ma-apply natin yung formula. So, tatanungin natin, ilang seconds nga ba sa isang oras? So, pwede natin siyang gamitan ng dimensional analysis. Meron tayong 1 hour. Di ba? 1 hour, multiply natin ng ilang minutes ba sa isang oras. Di ba? Meron tayong 60 minutes in 1 hour. At next, para ma-convert siya sa seconds, ilang seconds ba sa isang minute? Meron tayong 60 seconds in 1 minute. Ayan. And so, magka-cancel na lang tayo to arrive at the number of seconds per hour. Mag-cancel tayo ng unit na ito, mag-cancel tayo ng unit na ito, at matitira tayo with 1 times 60 times 60 or 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. Okay, so imbis na 1, multiply natin siya ng 3,600 seconds. And yun, magka-cancel din yung unit ng seconds. Matitira na lang kayo with miles. Okay, so this is just 3 times 3,600. Ano siya? So, pwede nating i-manual multiply 3,600 times 3, 0, 0, 18, 10. So, this is 10,800 miles. Next, for the next set of questions, meron tayong pie chart na kailangan i-analyze. At yung pie chart na to ay nagsasabi ng students from European countries that studied abroad in the United States in 2018. So, for a total of 2,800 students. So, ang tinatanong sa number 16 is, how many students were located in Italy? Round to the nearest whole number. At ilang percent ba ng students na yon ay from Italy? 30.3%. So, kailangan lang natin hanapin yung 30.3% ng 2,800. So, pwede nating i-multiply yon ng simple 2,800 times yung decimal conversion ng 30.3% which is 0.303. Pero medyo hassle to, 'di ba? Kasi ang dami niyang i-multiply. Ang pwede natin gawin, since hindi naman sakto yung ina-ask ng ating question, para medyo mapadali yung ating pag-compute, ito na lang ang gawin natin. Multiply natin by 0.3. Diba? Kasi it is close enough naman sa 0.303. At tingnan nyo yung choices. Magkakalayo naman sila. Such that, hindi kayo pwedeng magkamali kung binawasan nyo ng konti. Diba? Para mapadali yung computation nyo. So, 2,800 times 0.3, we have 0,024 to 84. So, nakuha natin, yan, 840. Ano ba dito ang malapit sa 840? Ito. So, yun, nakasave tayo ng ilang seconds and sa PUP set, very crucial yun kasi time pressure yung buong exam. O, next, how many students are not in Iceland, Greece, Germany, and Ireland? Okay, so, marami tayong bansang kailangan tingnan. Iceland, Greece, Germany, and Ireland. Nasaan yun? Iceland, Greece, Germany, Ireland. Okay, kailangan natin i-compute yung total proportion nila. Meron tayong 10.7 from Iceland, 17.6% from Ireland, 10.2% from Greece, at 10.2% din from Germany. Okay, so i-combine na lang natin, i-add natin silang lahat. Meron tayong 7 plus 6, 13, 15, 17, 1, 8, yan, and then 48.7. Okay, 48.7% ng students ay nasa mga countries na ito. Now, ang kailangan natin hanapin ay yung wala sa countries na ito. So, hanapin natin yung difference niya with 100. So, 100 minus 48.7. Meron tayong 3, 1, yan, and then 9 minus 4, 51.3. Yan, tingnan natin yung choices. Medyo magkakalayo pa rin naman sila. So, I think safe na gawin nating 50% na lang. Yan. I-estimate natin to just 50% ng buong students. Kasi diba this is close enough naman, 51.3%. Gawin nating 50% para mapadali yung calculation natin. Madali lang kasi malaman yung 50% ng 2,800. Kalahatiin nyo lang. This would be 1,400. And since 51.3% yung talagang exact percent na hinahanap natin, may expect natin na yung final answer is just a little bit above 1,400. Saan yun? Ay, meron tayong 1,463, 1,436. Yan, hindi natin pala pwedeng gawin yung estimate na yan. Pero, again, kapag malalayo naman yung mga choices natin, pwede nyong gawin yung mga ganong estimates to save time. Pero dito, unfortunately, mapipilitan tayong i-compute talaga. Ano ba ang 51.3% ng 2,800? Pwede natin yung i-compute by yan, 0.513. I think mas maganda no na yung 513 yung nandito. Yan, para 0, 0, 24, 10, 41, and then 6, 2, 10. Okay. We have 0, 0, 4, 6, 3, 4, 1. Ayan. Tapos, there. 1436.4. Ang sagot natin would be ito, 1436. Okay, 18 na tayo. If 35% of the students in France are male, how many of the total students were French female students? So, tingnan muna natin ilan ba ang French students dito. Nasaan yung France? Ito, 5.3%. So, alam na natin yan, 5.3% ng 2,800 ay French. So, kailangan siguro muna natin i-compute ano ba ang 5.3% ng 2,800. So, we can do that by multiplying here 0.053 and yan 0, 0, 24 to 8 tapos 0, 0, 40, 4, 14. Yan, 0, 0, 4, 8, 4, 1. Tapos, yan, 148.4 students ang French. Tapos, kailangan pa natin i-multiply ito by, 0.65. Okay, diretsuhin na natin. Bakit 0.65? Kasi 35% daw ng students ay male. Ang tinatanong sa atin ay female. Ibig sabihin, kunin natin yung inverse niya. Ang inverse ng 35%, 100 minus 35 equals 65%. So, kunin natin yung 65% ng 148.4. And medyo nakakatamad na gawin kasi ang gagawin lang naman natin is multiply this by 0.65, di ba? Yan. I-calculator na lang natin para mas mabilis at matapos na yung video ng mas mabilis. So, 148.4 times 0.65. We would get 96.46 or ito. Next, Jeng went home and went for a jog at a rate of 12 miles per hour. After 20 minutes, her sister also left home and jogged for 36 miles per hour. How far until they reached Jeng? So this is another motion problem. At for this, siguro kailangan natin i-visualize muna. Una, meron tayong yan, Jeng and sister. Yan, i-visualize muna natin yung nangyayari. Una, si Jeng tumakbo ng 12 miles per hour. Yan, di ba? Nauna siyang tumakbo. Ang speed niya ay yan, 12 miles per hour at tumakbo siya ng 20 minutes. So, nandito na si Jeng. Yung sister niya, nasa starting point pa lang kasi hindi pa naman siya nagsisimulang tumakbo. Now, after 20 minutes, doon na nagsimulang tumakbo yung sister niya. At mas mabilis yung sister niya. 36 miles per hour yung speed niya. So, syempre, after a certain time, ma-overtake na niya si Jeng. Ngayon, ang tinatanong is, gaano katagal pa until ma-overtake niya si Jeng? Sige, so how would we do this? Una muna, kailangan natin malaman ano ba ang naging head start ni Jeng. Gaano kalayo na ba ang tinakbo niya bago magsimulang tumakbo yung kanyang sister? Paano yun gagawin? Using the equation, distance is equal to velocity times time. Yung velocity ni Jeng ay 12 miles per hour. Okay? Ano naman yung time niya? I-multiply natin yun sa time niya. Yung time niya ay 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes. Hindi na naman siya in hours. So, kailangan natin i-convert. Pero ano yung mas madaling paraan? Alam naman natin, di ba, na ang 20 minutes is just 1/3 of an hour. Di ba? Bakit alam nating 1/3 of an hour? Kasi ang 1 hour ay equal sa 60 minutes. Di ba 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes? Si Jeng, tumakbo lang siya for 20 minutes. So, 1/3 kung i-lowest terms natin yan. Yan, 1/3 of an hour lang siya tumakbo. So, para hindi na natin i-convert to minutes, yan, gawin na lang natin 1/3 hours. Para cancel na agad ito. And so, ang gagawin natin, i-multiply lang natin yung 12 sa 1/3 at madali lang yun because this is just equal to 4. Okay, so alam natin na 4 miles. Yan, 4 miles lang ang head start ni Jeng bago tumakbo yung kanyang sister. Okay, pero syempre tumatakbo pa rin naman si Jeng dyan. Tumatakbo pa rin siya ng 12 miles per hour. So, ito na yung bagong situation natin. Again, i-draw na lang natin dito para mas malinis. Si Jeng, meron na siyang head start na 4 miles. Tumatakbo pa rin siya at 12 miles per hour. Tapos, yung sister niya, nagsisimula pa lang tumakbo at 36 miles per hour. Okay. So, to solve this, imagine nyo yung magiging situation kapag na-overtake na ng sister niya si Jeng. Siguro, at this distance, na-overtake na niya si Jeng. At this point in time, di ba magkapareha sila ng total distance na na-travel? So yun, i-compute na lang natin yung total distance na tina-travel ni Jeng at yung total distance na tina-travel ng sister niya at i-equate sila together kasi equal naman dapat sila at this point. 'Di ba? So, una, ano ba ang total distance na tinavel ni Jeng? Nakatravel siya initially ng 4 miles, 'di ba? Yun yung unang tinavel niya. Plus, yan, kasi tumatakbo pa si Jeng eh. Yung velocity times time niya at this point kung kailan nagsimula yung sister niya. Okay? Next naman, yung sister niya, ano ang distance na ita-travel niya? This is just velocity times time. Since wala naman siyang head start. So, yun. I-plug in na lang natin, ano ba ang velocity ni Jeng? Ang velocity ni Jeng, di ba 12? Ano naman ang velocity ng kanyang sister? Ang velocity niya ay 36. And yun, pwede na nating i-equate sila together. This is just 4 plus 12t is equal to 36t. Transpose natin yung 12t sa kabila. Meron tayong 4 is equal to 36 minus 12. This is 24t over 24. So, ang magiging sagot natin ay 1/6 of an R. Ano ba ang 1/6 of an R? 1/6 of an R, multiply natin by 60 minutes sa isang oras. This is just equal to 10 minutes. So, nung nagsimulang tumakbo yung sister niya, after 10 minutes, na-overtake agad niya si Jeng. So, 10 minutes. Pero hindi naman yun yung tinatanong sa problem. Ang tinatanong sa problem is gaano kalayo yung na-travel nilang dalawa once na ma-overtake ng sister si Jeng. Para ma-solve yun, ang gagawin lang natin is isa-substitute yung 10 minutes either dito or dito. Equal lang naman yung makukuha nyong sagot. Mas madali siguro dito. So, i-substitute nyo yung 10 minutes dito sa 3060. Pero hindi pala 10 minutes yung isa-substitute nyo, kundi 1/6 of an hour kasi yung 36 ay naka-miles per hour. So, syempre, dapat ang i-multiply natin para consistent yung units, 1/6 of an hour. So, multiply lang natin 36 times 1/6. This is just equal to 6. And so, yun, nasagot na natin yung second to the last question, 6 miles. Last question, Excel goes 15 kilometers west, then 36 kilometers south. How far are they from the original position? So, i-trace natin yung dinaanan nila. Pumunta daw sila 15 kilometers west and then 36 kilometers south. Ang pinapahanap sa atin ay ito, yung distance nila from their original position. Now, paano natin magagawa to? Pythagorean theorem, 'di ba? Yung hypotenuse is just equal to the square root ng 36 squared plus 15 squared. Pero, yan, mapapansin nyo, very tedious na naman. Kasi, anong gagawin natin? Kailangan natin i-multiply yung 36 by itself, i-multiply yung 15 by itself, at after that, ipag-a-add natin silang dalawa, tapos somehow, kailangan natin malaman yung square root ng sum na yun. So, sobrang tedious, sobrang hassle gawin. Kailangan may mas madaling paraan dito, di ba? Ano yung mas madaling paraan? Gagamit tayo ng concept ng Pythagorean triples. Ano ang Pythagorean triples? Yan, very useful ito kapag kukuha kayo ng college entrance exams. Pythagorean triples are sides of a right triangle na lahat sila ay whole numbers. Ano ang example ng Pythagorean triple? Ang pinaka-common or yung pinakasikat na example ay yung 3, 4, 5 na right triangle. Okay, kasi kapag meron kang right triangle na may sides 3 at 4, yan, automatic. Yung hypotenuse niya, wag nyo nang i-compute. Yan, i-memorize nyo na lang, ang hypotenuse niya ay 5. Ano pa yung ilang mga Pythagorean triples natin? Meron din tayong 5, 12, 13. Yan, Pythagorean triple din yan. Ano pa? Meron din tayong 8, 15, 17. Ano pa? Meron din tayong 7, 24, 25, and 9, 40, 41. Yan, so i-look up nyo na lang or i-research nyo yung iba't iba pang Pythagorean triples, pero ito yung mga pinaka-common Now, paano to? Hindi naman ito isa sa mga Pythagorean triples na na-discuss ko. Yung Pythagorean triples also extends to yung factors ng numbers na sinabi ko kanina. Try natin kunin yung factors ng sides na ito. 15, di ba, is just 3 times 5. At yung 36 is just 3 times 12. And so, yun, no? Kita nyo na. 5, 12. These are sides of Pythagorean triples. Di ba? Ano ba ang kasabay ng 5 at 12? This is 13. Pero, syempre, may 3 tayo dito. So, kailangan natin i-sama rin yung 3. So, yun. Meron na tayong Pythagorean triple, 5, 12, and 13. Ang pinagkaiba nga lang is lahat ng sides nila ay minultiply natin ng 3. Pwede naman yun. Counted pa rin sila as Pythagorean triple. So, ito na lang yung kailangan nating isolve. Diba? 3 times 13 lang, which is a whole lot easier than yung una kong sinabing process. Yan, diba? So, 3 times 13, this is just 39 kilometers. Yan, nasagutan natin ng mas mabilis yung question 20.